there's two things that happen after a loss. You either accept it or you learn from it, and we're choosing to learn. And I think that day after was a really positive day for us. Kind of a lot of reflection, a lot of learning. I thought we had some segments that were not very good in each half. We reviewed those in film. We talked about those. On this November date that we played Alabama, they were better than us, and they executed better. They were sharper than us for longer periods of time. Did we do some good things? We did a lot of really good things. But you can't miss free throws. You can't give them 30 plus points in transition. You can't do some of the silly things we did, jumping off 1 foot, getting beat middle. We gave up 12 points off middle drives out of the corner. That is a fundamental mistake for us. That's a mistake that we've worked on since June. Is not allowing that. Those are things that we can actually get better on quickly, and when we do that, then we become that team that is really good. So I'm excited. I saw a lot of positives. I thought KJ was absolutely fabulous in the first half. I thought he was as good a player as there was on the court. I thought the job that Kylan did defensively against what most consider the elite point guard in the country. I think he was picked MVP. Didn't score, and literally put him in a position where he never came back into the game. So we out-rebounded him. We felt like that was a big key going in. Will was tremendous, 5 offensive rebounds. So there were a lot of positives. I was. We had chances to make them really nervous, get it to 6 or 7, and Morez made a heck of a play, and it was an offensive goaltending and off a steal. But too many sloppy possessions offensively, just out of not running anything. And we've talked a lot about that. When we executed offensively, we were as good in our ball screen offense as we've been. So, and doing that with a great shot blocker and Cliff back there, and I'll say this to Ann, we've got to start games better. Even though we were going to give Grant Nelson some opportunities, you still can't just not guard him. And we talked about supporting a lot. We've got to get better at that. That's on me. And you feel like you're battling uphill for most of the game anyway. And good thing we got off to a great start as well. But first 4 minutes have to be better. We've got to have more fight, and we'll get that corrected.
Brad, upon watching it back, how do you feel overall defensively? I know there's not many offenses that look like that around the country, but also you want to be ready when you get challenged in that way.
I think we were top 10 going into the game. And you're going to play percentages to a certain extent. I thought we played hard. If you'd have told me we were going to hold Sears scoreless, I thought the job that I think they were 5 of 20 from the guys we wanted shooting threes. The defensive mistakes that we made out of our fundamental principles, that's the ones that I'm not very happy with. The middle drives, out of corners, the transition. Nelson, been a double-double guy, doesn't have an offensive rebound. We do some really good things, but watching us not run back and them sprint, that's, we can correct that, and I'll get that corrected. So there are a lot of positives, a lot of good things. You got really good perimeter players. They play in a way that's, like I said, a little unusual, but and very, I guess, modern, is if you want to call it that. But yeah, when you got pros and good players, they're gonna make some shots. But the stuff we have to correct is our stuff, and that's what we got exposed with.
It sounded like a pretty intense practice towards the end today. What was the main focus for you guys during practice this morning?
Get better every single day. Get better, and it's our culture has always been built on playing to our standard, not anything else. And you know, yesterday we got home really late. Yesterday we added a couple of things. You know, we worked on some zone offense. We added a couple things in man, and we shot a lot of balls. And so it wasn't an overly intense practice yesterday. Today we got after it again. And it's my job every day to make sure that when we're competing at the highest level. Hence, everyday guys. And I'm one of those guys too. So we challenged them, and we got to play to our standards.
The Bama game was another opportunity. Perez flashing his rim protection. Obviously did that in the opener too. What are you seeing from him in terms of the impact he's making in that area?
Been terrific. You just got to keep him on the floor. You know, 4 fouls in 8 minutes. It impacts what his productivity can be. You know, one, he's just throws a guy down. 2 of them, I think, were a little unfortunate because I think Nelson tripped kind of over his foot and flailed a little bit and got the call. Another one's just not sliding his feet, and it's a body block. Yeah, we need him. I want to be able to play he and Tommy together some, and we went into that game with that mindset because of his rebounding, because of his shot blocking, and his ability to really move defensively. Unfortunately, he was in foul trouble. So, you know, those are freshman mistakes. He got, you know, he got a lot of positive things happening when he's on the court, but we've got to fight through those fouls that he shouldn't commit.
Brad, going back to bringing Eastern Shore in, any connections that you have to them or Cleo Hill?
No connections, just a team with you know, another opportunity. They're talented, offensively really good. I've got one of the top scorers in the country. Guy averaging 24 or 25 a game, I think, and he's a high volume guy. He's big. I really like this team's offensive ability. They got guys who can really go get it. And we've got to sit down and guard the ball. It's a great challenge. They'll get into some post-ups with their guards, some. They've got a you know, kind of a below-the-rim big guy that really runs. He's you know, he's very good and creative around the basket. They shoot it. So it's a great challenge for us to continue to get better defensively, and yeah, they've got some guys who can go get some baskets.
KJ was obviously coming off a scoreless game against Oakland. What did it tell you that he was that good in that game, in that first half?
Yeah, we never doubted whether KJ was good or not. KJ's one of the top players in the country, and I think most draft boards are, and most NBA guys would agree with that. I thought he was just dominant in the first half in a ball screen, and you're doing that against a team that applies a ton of pressure and a team that has an elite shot blocker, and you know, against drop coverages, you know, he's as good a player as there is at making reads and making passes, spraying it, scoring it. You know, and it was evident. You know, it was you know, and in the first 2 games of the year, you know, we got 2 to the ball really quick, and he just played and sprayed it, and we shot 100 threes, and that's what he does. So there's no forcing with him, but he was really good. You know, we got away from him a little bit in the second half. That was my fault. One of the big things in the first half that I regret looking back at the films, I left him out too long, and I got to do a better job of managing that on my end.
Are there 2 or 3 players that you really see gelling that you're excited to see tomorrow that have really been connecting in practice?
You know what? I'm still looking at different lineups, not just 2 or 3. You know, like I said, we went into Alabama. We practiced a good amount with the two bigs in together, and actually sliding Ben a little bit to the 3. We're looking at Kerry and Ben. We're together. We can really space the floor and drive it with a little smaller lineup. You know, we're looking at Trey playing a little smaller, sliding him to the 4. You know, it gives us a pretty good driving lineup. So we've got a lot of things philosophically we're still trying to look at, and we need to look at them in games, and it hasn't quite worked out like that. But you know, I think we're starting to see a pretty good rhythm between KJ and Kylan, and you know, we're starting to see that with Will and you know, different lineups in there. So you know, I feel pretty comfortable. It's just still something I want to see. And then live action against live bullets.
You get Brandon signed a couple days ago. What do you like about that addition for your program?
Score. You know, he's a guy that fits what we're doing. He's got great size. He's got great physicality. He's got incredible bloodlines. Dad's one of Marquette's all-time greatest. He is a prolific scorer and does it a lot of different ways. He was fun to watch on the circuit because it was. He's always been the focus of everybody's trying to stop him, and he's still found ways to get 25 to 30 in high-level games. So, you know, he can play on the ball. He plays with it. He's got great range, a very good shooter. And then I love his physical presence. He's got great physical strength, great body, high IQ guy. I think that's one of the things we feel really good about with our 2 signings is the IQ piece and the feel, and then they're both very capable scorers, although very different type players.
You talked about how it's been tough or just a challenge for recruits to see a path forward with you guys because of your roster, and also just an emphasis now in roster building in the spring. Why do you think it made sense for both parties with Keaton and Brandon to get on board, and why you wanted them early?
Yeah, I think that style of play fits both. I think they both are very understanding of what that looks like. And I'll be honest, what is there not to like about Illinois? I mean, I sit there and look at the style of play, and the numbers don't lie. State Farm Center sell out. Best student section in the country, sold out in 26 minutes. Play in front of the best fans, one of the loudest buildings in the country. Let's see, I get to walk into Ubben every day and have state-of-the-art equipment in a place that's ultra comfortable, and then play on some of the biggest stages in college basketball. And I think when you start putting all those things together, there's a lot of positives. You know, you throw in best strength coach in the country. Our development history is really, really good. And you know, and if you're a guard, you know, I'm going to let you shoot. And I mean, who doesn't want to shoot and have the opportunity to score? So I think it's just a great fit both ways. I think it's a great marriage, and I'm excited to have those young guys. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Brad.